thank you for coming to the part of today.
Of them coming here is just to see you. Probably the briefing has been done there. We will look at the facilities for the states you are for you to know this delegate. But whatever has been discussed, your commander knew about it. And then probably we will filter the information because we wouldn't want to have
on this unit, particularly some of you around this surrounding. We know how much you respond to crimes, suspected crimes. So with the mega resources, of course, we are aware. So we decided to come over as presidential advisors to interact with you and also, commend you for the work that you're doing. Well, that's the basis. You are doing exceptionally well. We want to commend you and also encourage you to do more. That we will try as much as possible to mobilize resources. As Momodu, the special advisor to the president, always said. No government can do it alone. The government may not be able to provide you with everything that you need. And hopefully those are things that they will tell you. The government cares. They do. And that's why we are coming over. We know the resources are constrained, but we'll continue to do our best to make sure that we are supported. So we encourage you on the patriotism and keep on the civil security relations. This is very important. Fundamental to the information that you get is about the relationships that you get. And I want to commend you also for what we've seen here. It's eye-catching. But of course, he would have not succeeded in this without the blessing of his commissioner. But we want to say it's because of because you're good, that's why you want to drive good people to come. So this is massive. Thank you so much. I just want to take back when you come in terms of logistics and other stuff. So I just want to people is our phone, yes. People is our network. I don't want to repeat the commissioner has said anything. It's under this unit is under him. So it's not like it's about transaction. So this is now we know what you people are saying. Just to say I just want to tell my colleagues, the last time, when those days when the principal is moving, when the president is moving, heavily is the economic and the living. But since you people have started and you have led a team that are present, the ground has always been level prior to the coming of the military here and that has minimized the interaction of the military and the civilian because of and we also recognize that.
Down the last person is government. We are his advisors, and we thought that in order for us to be able to advise him effectively and properly, we need to come here and get first-hand information. We have already discussed with your senior men and women at the police training center, which is also the base of the ECU, and we've looked at the environment. We realized that, of course, in as much as you are doing a fantastic job, you're doing it with very limited resources. And we are going to do everything possible within and outside government to mobilize resources in order to take care of some of the things that are really needed here. We encourage you to continue to work together as a unit, continue to encourage each other, because the service you are doing it for this country, and the country appreciates you. And I'm going to say this because I said it to your commanders, that never be bogged down by this argument that you people should remember about the TRRC. The TRRC is different from the job that you are doing. Whatever you do here as officers, you are doing it based on legal orders. The President of the Republic will never give your commissioner or your commanders an illegal order for you to execute. What happened at the TRRC was even a few men of the Gambia Armed Forces who were responsible for that. So that would be wrong for people to be judged based on what a few people have done. The men reform of this country have been great. You have been.
Hey! Ice! Good afternoon. Sir. How are you? Sir. Okay, on a serious note, today we have visitors from the Office of the President, the Special Advisor to the President, Honorable Manjai, Honorable Independent, the advisor on this matter, Honorable So briefly, they came to visit the headquarters. They have a meeting with us, and also want to come and they just came to thank you, say words to you, but basically we have done the work. That is the reason why we are here. So what I it's an honor to be here. We represented the Electoral Advisory Committee, and we've come to where we are to see you and also encourage you. Today is Special Advisor to the President, Honorable Momodu Sowe, Special Advisor to the President, and the government, and me as Lead Advisor to the President and the President. We are very grateful. We have interacted with your command, Commissioner, Officer Commanding, but we thought it's also important that we interact with you. The reason of the interaction is that probably the principal, who is the President of the Republic, may not have the opportunity to come and visit all these facilities. But by extension, this office, we are mandated to visit institutions, public institutions, and interact with the personnel and also know what they are up to, their challenges, so that we will be able to better inform the President in advising him. So security being one of the most crucial aspects of our society or our living, we thought it is important. This is not the first time that we are undertaking this initiative. We did with the police command. We visited the Inspector General of Police and Police High National some times ago. And here we are today visiting the sub-units of respective security. Why anti-crime? We know today, this country, despite the bigger formation of the police, when crimes are committed, everybody... Thank you so much. It was a pleasure receiving the advisors of the President to our DRS unit, that is the anti-crime unit. The visit was very fruitful because they took their time to listen to our constraints, to see our facilities, to see the conditions that we are working, and then they give us the belief that the political will is there for them to support the Gambia Police Force in terms of logistics and other things. So I think the visit was timely, since we are also expecting the OIC very soon, and then them being the advisors to the President, leaving all their time, spending almost the whole day with us, trying to see our facilities, trying to listen to all our concerns, our logistics challenge and everything, and then they took note of it. They gave us the promise that they will make sure that these issues, some of the issues that are very pertinent, can be addressed as soon as possible. Even though we know there are some challenges that cannot be addressed as quickly as possible. So we really appreciate them visiting us, and we also want to thank the Office of the Inspector General of Police for giving them the floor to come and visit us and talk to us freely without any hindrance or without anything that will make us not to talk to them freely. So definitely the visit was appreciated, and I hope the outcome of the visit may yield something for the betterment of the unit. Yes. The challenges are enormous, but I may mention a few of them. We all know we have logistics when it comes to vehicles, when it comes to like motorbikes and other equipment, office equipment that can help in
in our daily operations, like cameras, drones, and all those things are challenges that we are facing. We highlighted some of them, and if anyone can help in those ones, will help in to make our work very smooth. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
For many reasons, and one of them is to come here to inspire them, to encourage them, because we know that so many people have been vilifying them, making them look as if they are enemies to the public, and they are not. They are law enforcers. They are here to keep us safe, to maintain security of this country and to the people of this country, and therefore everybody needs to put our resources together. We need to put efforts together to give them all the support they need. And we were able to encourage them, to inspire them, to understand that the job they are doing is a noble one, and that they are patriots, because whilst people are sleeping, they are out in the streets to ensure that the people are safe and secure. So we also encourage them to continue to maintain discipline and to maintain a very cordial civil security relationship, because that is going to help them as well, because that will enable them to be able to get a lot of information from the people, because once the people trust them, they will provide them with the necessary information for them to be able to effect arrest and to prevent crime. The other aspect also to our visit is to ensure that they do not be bogged down by this constant talk about, that they need to remind themselves of the TRRC. I have said to them that the TRRC is completely different from what they are currently doing, because the TRRC was a handful of men from the security forces who were committing crimes that were seen to be illegal. But these people, whatever decision, whatever order that is given to them by His Excellency the President of the Republic is a legal order, because the President is never going to give any security officer an illegal order for them to commit a crime that is illegal. So we came to encourage them, to make sure that let them frown on those kind of sentiments, because they are here to serve the country, and we will support them. Of course, in the process of doing their job, we have also realized that they have a lot of challenges. Of course, mobility is one of the challenges, and office space as well, because their headquarters is housed at the police training school, which is obviously not a headquarters for the anti-crime unit. But here we are in Kotu, and Kotu police station, the environment here is very spacious. They have a vast land here, and we believe that with support from partners and from government, we can construct a headquarters for the anti-crime unit in Kotu to ensure that service delivery is maximized. Well, like I said, we are here representing His Excellency the President, who is very passionate about the security of this country, very passionate about the security forces themselves. Too often people will argue that, well, you see, the President, maybe, he doesn't care much about the security of this country. Of course he does. That man loves this country, and he wishes well for this country. And I can tell you that upon our return, we are going to prepare a report, and we are going to present the report directly to him, and there is no doubt that government is going to mobilize resources, and we as advisors will also mobilize resources, from the private sector to take care of some of the issues that they have raised, some of the challenges that they have that are immediate. But most importantly also is that, when we visited the prisons was even worse off than the anti-crime unit, and the advisor corps did extremely well in mobilizing resources for the prison service of the Gambia. And this is exactly what we are going to do. We are going to talk to philanthropists. We are going to talk to Gambians who have the money, the means to help them. And inshallah, we are going to make it happen. But finally also, let me say today to the Gambian people that the security of this country is everybody's business. We cannot have landlords renting their properties out to people, and they do not wish to know the activities that those people are carrying out in their respective compounds. They must take responsibility, because security is the business of everybody. And henceforth, we are not going to compromise that. If any landlord harbors criminals, if the criminals are apprehended by the anti-crime unit, the landlord will definitely not escape arrest until we establish, whether or not he was in the loop of what these people were doing. Because look, we cannot just rent people our properties and only focus on what we get at the end of the month or at the end of the year. It has to be our business to know what is being done in our respective compounds. So really, that is a word of caution to the Gambian people. We need to help our security forces. They cannot maintain security all by themselves. They need our help. They need our support. And the people must take responsibility for that. If anybody sees something, people have to be conscious of their environment. If you see something fishy that is going on around your environment, call the police or go to the nearest police station and report the person. Then the police can do their job. Because if you look at the ratio, a police officer to the population, you probably will be looking at one police officer to maybe 300 citizens. So definitely they need the help of the people, and the people must take responsibility for their security. Thank you.
You've just concluded a tour at the police and crime unit and its sub-units. So what's your take on this visit?
This is a very important visit. We know as advisors to the president, we have a duty to provide advice. And in doing so, we have to be informed ourselves about the prevailing circumstances of various public institutions. And today we visited the anti-crime unit and its sub-units, across the West Coast region and Cardiff municipality. The importance of this visit is to assess and see the living condition of personnel of the anti-crime, the work that they do, the challenges that they are faced with firsthand. We have been hearing these things, but we want to see it for ourselves so that when we discuss with the principal, the president will be able to inform him properly, and not only to advise the president on matters that that exist within the various bases of the anti-crime, but also to solicit support. Because part of the things that we also do is to forge partnership between these institutions and private institutions, and we have done it for others, and we will do it for anti-crime as well. But again, also our visit is also necessitated by the various crimes that have been reported across the country, and we know the police is a crucial role. Police plays a crucial role in combating crime, and anti-crime as a specialized unit, is responds very quickly to some of these incidences. So we meet them to discuss with them on how to strengthen their capacity to be able to respond to crimes more and prevent crimes. So we are very grateful. We are very happy with what we have seen. Of course, there are a lot of things that needs to be improved on their living conditions. They have constraints in terms of mobility. They are constrained in terms of a lot of things to be able to do their work. But despite all that, they are responding effectively. Oftenly, we hear every day that they have apprehended criminals, and these are high-profile criminals. They are apprehending them with the mega resources. So this tour is very significant for us. And when we go back, we will report to the president, but of course also we will share our report where necessary with other stakeholders for their intervention. Because when anti-crime and other security units are well resourced to be able to prevent and respond to crime, we are all safe. And we want to call on the business community as well to come to part of their corporate social responsibility to support these institutions. One of the things that catches our eye very well is the permanent location for the anti-crime. We know over the past years from Bigelow to Banyulunding, and even the Banyulunding situation is not permanent. So probably we'll also work with the Inspector General of Police and the Minister of Lands and Regional Government to find a way, in physical planning, to find a way of allocating these people with a sizable land where they can have their headquarters, and also that will also serve as a training facility for them, because they do a lot of trainings. We know today the criminals are well prepared as well. Most of the criminals that have been arrested of recently, you see they are with very heavy weapons. So in order to respond to that as well, the anti-crime also, or the other security units also need to really be armed very heavy to be able to have that proportionality in terms of in terms of strength, even whereas it's not proportional, but at least they have to be ahead of the criminal. But imagine if the criminals have more weapon than the police in terms of who are supposed to respond to crimes or prevent crimes. It will be it may result to fatality or so forth. So we are very impressed so far. To the Gambian population, we want to say report suspected crimes. You see, Gambians are very good at when somebody is apprehended or somebody commits a crime, and often we hear people, and in fact, I saw him here a couple of minutes ago. I knew about this. I mean, that's not what will be helpful. What will be helpful is that when you suspect or when you see a suspected activity, report to relevant authorities, report to the police, so that they can do the needful. But, you know, I mean, we are very lazy in terms of that oftenly. But again, also today, I think Honorable Henry Gomez have talked about that. Those who are giving out their homes or houses for rent, we need to know the occupants of those homes. But because of this agent issue, you give out your compound, you know, for rent for 3-4 years. You don't even know who is living in your compound. All that matters to you is the rent that is coming, and the agent will provide that to you. Who lives in that home, you don't know. You may be harboring criminals. So we're going to visit the immigration effectively from this tour, that the immigration also, there are immigration laws, provisions, that when you have, you know, I mean, you know, tenants, you have to declare this guest to the immigration. But often we don't do all those things. What we care about is money. And now what we have nothing against, you know, I mean, foreigners. But somebody comes out because, you know, the person pays better than another person. In fact, where you have to raise suspicion is that when you give out your house for, you know, $1,000 and somebody is willing to pay $2,000 or $3,000, that have to raise a concern to you. So my message to the community is that let's be cooperative with the security, let's report suspected activities, and let's also come out and serve as witnesses. Because when this case goes to the court, they will need witnesses. And sometimes we just run away from that responsibility. And therefore, for there to be a successful prosecution, witnesses have to come forward. And those witnesses are you and I.